Man, so for the last 2 weeks, I've been listening to a lot of music from Tim and Bob, as well as Jam and Lewis and Teddy Riley and Babyface. And I was just thinking, what happened to sexy R&B grown folk music? What happened to songs about missing somebody or like being head over heels for somebody or dealing with a heartbreak? Now it's just, I don't need no female, I don't need no man, I'm out here in these streets. And a lot of the R&B is giving more hip hop attitude, to be honest. You remember the classics like Tamia, So Into You, Case, Missing You, Monica, Angel of Mine, John B, They Don't Know. There was this sensual elegance that came with it. It was real life grown folk love making music. And I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could make something in that realm. And so let's get started. So what's a classic R&B song without some acoustic guitar on here? So we're gonna start with that and just build from there. I'm gonna see if I can come up with a melody here. I think that'll work. I want it to sound like it's actually being strummed here. Not too bad, I think that'll work. And then I added a little something on top of it. And then so we can go ahead and turn off our metronome and then we'll play that. So just kind of, clean it up a little bit. We got some EQ and compression on there and then some rhyme reverb, so nothing too crazy. Now I've been working on this drum kit for a minute and it has just these classic R&B one shots on here. Thinking something along the lines of this. We're gonna add this hi-hat and triangle to it here, so something like. Also, we'll add in these chimes here in the beginning. And I kind of pushed back some of the shakers and the hi-hats just a little bit to kind of get it in its pocket. So this is what we have. I noticed with a lot of like 2000s, early 2000s R&B music, the drums are pretty much a constant throughout the whole song. So that's kind of our main vibe that we'll keep on there. And then as far as processing on those drums, I just added just the knock plugin, added a little bit of punch, saturation, air, and some clip. And knock is all you need when processing drums, in my opinion. It has everything that you need on there. Moving on to the bass, we have one of my favorite basses to use here for R&B, the Scarby Rickenbacker bass. And I just wanted to just kind of have just this kind of constant rhythm going here. So we'll come up with something. I think that'll work. I like that. Maybe quantize it just a little bit, but And I want with that particular bass to be more felt than heard per se. I just wanted to capture all of those sub frequencies there. And so far we have pretty much our acoustic guitar, all of our drums, and then our bass. And I'll go ahead and copy that over here. So I found this really cool secondary guitar kind of vocal loop in Splice. And the cool trick with this is once you kind of have all of your elements here, you can drag in some of the instrument elements and it will find something to build around that that's in key and everything here. So we'll take our guitar and bass, you drag it in there, it kind of loads up, and then it will give you a bunch of just different options that you can choose to play. You can go in and kind of pick out like what instrument you want or what genre, but I ended up finding this here. And it fit perfect. Added that on there, panned it a little bit to the right. We got just a little bit of Valhalla reverb on there, and then we'll play that all together here. And then did the same thing with the keys. I was gonna just play some keys manually, and this pretty much plays what I was thinking about playing. I wasn't gonna go too crazy with it, but I actually found this sample that had the sound that I was going for, and I'll solo this. And then with the other music. And I just wanted to EQ, cut some of the low end, to keep room for our drums and bass. I added a little delay and then a little Valhalla reverb to it as well, just to kind of put it in this space where it's a little bit airy. And I knew I was almost there, but I wanted to add just one more set of keys to kind of fill that. Kind of fills in the mid-range and something to fill in that top end, just that little sparkle that I hear in a lot of those like early 2000s R&B music. And so in that same Splice way of just dragging in the sound and then going through it, I found this second set of keys here. And now the secret to it is, of course, you can just look through Splice, but to me it works better when you kind of build something first and manually create a vibe and then have just these complementary sounds that just kind of help you do it. And also it makes me feel like I'm not cheating as bad. And here's what this second key does here. And those keys together and then with that guitar that we added, and our original guitar here, then our bass, and then we have our drums. Now, me being try hard, I started to kind of come up with an idea for a hook for this. And I'm not a singer or anything, but I just kind of wanted to tap into like that just early like Jaheim or like Case kind of hook with it. And so, and I also built out an arrangement for it too, but I'll kind of play the hook that I just made for it real quick. Then the verse would come in here. But these are fun to make because it challenges you not to just use traditional patterns like traditional hi-hats, traditional kicks, and it makes you kind of tap into a certain mindset with sound selection and with groove. I miss like the constant rhythm of older R&B songs. I say older, this isn't like 80s old, but I'd say like late 90s, 2000s. It just kind of had this way of like hypnotizing you and kind of mesmerizing you and bringing you into it. And I wonder if that's why most of those songs just kind of ended on this loop that fades as opposed to just like an abrupt stop. I got this all arranged. It is uploaded on my BeatStars. There's a link at the bottom. If you do want to purchase this, it's available on my BeatStars. But let me know what type of beat you want me to make next. Definitely leave a comment. And let me know, if you want me to make more R&B classic beats or if you want me to do more modern hip hop. I can do a pop song. We can do some country. I don't care. I'm up for the challenge. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Till next time, peace.